I used to see a wheelchair as something that would hold me back or something that would limit me. I used to see it as so many things that I wouldn't be able to do or that I couldn't do again. But today I'm here to tell you that, spoiler alert, I was so wrong about a wheelchair in all of the best ways.
My wheelchair has truly become my freedom, not my chains. Your wheelchair can also become your freedom. It can truly become your wings to be able to fly again and to live again. Not just like exist, but to actually live and enjoy being alive. So your wheelchair is a tool that allows you to go out and live your life, but also be able to leave the house or leave your bed when you first become disabled. And while that might sound like a really small thing, think about where you've been with your disability. Think about, how hard it is for you perhaps now to be able to do some of the things that you want to be able to do, like simply just go to the store again, or simply be able to go have dinner with a friend. After all, if you can't move your legs or if you have difficulty walking a long distance, how else would you do life without a wheelchair? I want you to know, in the Phoenix family, that life is far from over with a wheelchair. You guys have a choice to make when you need a wheelchair. You can stay stuck in the depression and in the pain and in the darkness, or kind of this why me mentality. Or on the other side of it, you also have the choice to rise from it and to allow needing a wheelchair to make you a better person, maybe to make you more compassionate or to help you think more about accessible design. And you never know how much your experience with a wheelchair impacts everyone else that comes after you. So a great example of how having a wheelchair is not the end of my life and that I'm still able to do some of the things that I want to be able to do again. Maybe not every single thing, but a lot of the things that I wanted to be able to do again with less pain and as an amputee, I'm able to do with just my wheelchair. A good example of this is to think about the fact that yesterday I was just able to go to a church group activity on a Monday night with some of these people that have started to really become my friends in this newer church group that I'm in, where it's all people that are over 26, and being able to go and enjoy a hike, even though it's on a paved trail. And, I thought it was going to be a little bit more wheelchair accessible than it actually was. I actually helped to plan this activity. So, I'm kind of the one to blame here for not looking at the Google pictures a little more carefully. But, honestly, that's on me. But I'm so glad that they decided to go on a paved trail, because I was able to go. And even though it wasn't the best for a wheelchair, there were people that were willing to help me out in those couple of spots where I couldn't push myself and where it got so steep that I was not able to use my wheelchair push assist motor because it would have stripped out the motor. But I didn't realize how much I needed to be out in nature again until I actually was able to have the opportunity to get out in nature and to be able to talk to a few friends and realize that I was able to participate in something that I never would have been able to do whatsoever only just a few years ago, because I didn't have the right equipment to make that kind of a thing possible. I think a lot of times having the right equipment is what it's really all about when you're in a wheelchair. When I still had CRPS, because of the fact that I only had an e-scooter, and second of all, it was really hard just to be able to push that e-scooter by myself. But now that I was able to get my custom wheelchair following the fact that I had my leg amputated, so now that I have the opportunity to have those things, I am able to enjoy something that I couldn't before. And I think like even if you have chronic pain and you don't have an amputation, it's very important to realize that, yeah, like if you're having trouble walking, doesn't it make sense to be able to have the right equipment so that you can enjoy your life again? So a great example of having the right equipment and not having the right equipment might be to think about if you were going to go on a road trip, right? So depending on the location of that road trip, you're going to pack certain different things with you. For example, if you're going to the beach, you're probably going to pack a couple swimsuits with you. But if you're going to like Antarctica to go see March of the Penguins, you're probably not going to be packing swimsuits because it's going to be freezing when you get there. In addition to being able to enjoy just being outside again, my wheelchair allowed me to go on trips with my family again. You know, even just that first wheelchair that I had, I realized that I needed that to be able to just enjoy time with my family. And I was able to go to places like this beautiful like butterfly garden that's in Utah. And we were able to go to like these botanical gardens and like all of these really beautiful places that I wouldn't have been able to go even just with that first wheelchair. And that one was one that somebody had to be pushing me just because of the way that the chair was designed. But then once I got my good wheelchair, I was able to do things like go on our family trips to the national parks and to national monuments. And, you know, I was even able to enjoy the surprise trip to Zion National Park earlier this year. My wheelchair has also really allowed me to get out and enjoy being more of a normal young adult again. And yes, when I say normal, I mean that like very loosely, because I know that my trajectory into a scene with my peers does not look anything like it does typically for a lot of my peers, but I'm able to be a little bit more normal and a little bit more integrated into the people that are my age, which is good for me. Like I need that social interaction with people that are my age at my level, and more so the kind of people that I really need to be associating with. Also, since being a wheelchair user and an amputee and realizing that I'm probably going to be a mostly full-time wheelchair user for the rest of my life, and realizing, you know, like I'm like 4 years into my amputation in just a few months. And it's been really interesting to realize like, oh, you know, like I kind of like, you know, leveled out at the fact that like I can only use my prosthetic a few hours a day. Now, that doesn't mean that I should just stop trying to use my prosthetic. No, that's not what that means. Because anytime you can get out of your wheelchair, even if you're like paralyzed, even if you have like the worst time trying to get out of your wheelchair, there are health benefits to not being in your wheelchair like all day, every day. But the point here is the fact that life doesn't have to feel like it's completely over just because you need to use your wheelchair most of the time. My wheelchair taught me to be able to ski again, and I got to enjoy a one last trip to the mountain and ski trip with my dad, which is so important to me because my dad is the one that originally taught me how to ski at that very same resort where I got to go back to go sit skiing for the first time. And that meant like the entire world to me. That's something that I never, ever in like a million years ever thought I was going to be able to do again at one point in my life when the pain was so bad that I was just curled up in a ball all the time. So some of you guys have been asking me about something you could do to help support my channel and the work that I do here on YouTube for you guys. And guess what? Now there finally is. So I have put together and worked really hard on putting together a website for you guys. It is called onefootedphoenix.com/goodies. If you go to onefootedphoenix.com, the rest of the website is not built out yet, so you will get to a page that is under construction. You want to go to the goodies page so that you can find all of the cool stuff that like I found on Amazon. You can find all of my affiliate links, and it only works if you use the affiliate link. So make sure when you find that cool stuff on that website that you add it to your cart or you add it to your Amazon list so that when you're ready to buy it, I will get a bit of that commission. And that'll really help me out to keep doing what I do for all of you guys here on YouTube, as well as I am really moving forward with building this whole thing into a business that can sustain us. Alrighty, so if you guys still aren't super sure about the fact that you can have an incredible quality of life with a wheelchair, I want to invite you to check out my next video that'll be over here, all about how it's possible to have an incredible quality of life and actually how to do that. So I'll see you all in the next video. Thanks for watching.